Vehicular entertainment. Test Miles with Nick Miles.
Well, it's a Sunday morning, it's 10 a.m. and welcome to Test Miles. I'm Nick Miles and we are on FM News 101, the only place that you should be on a Sunday morning to find about cars. And the usual crew is in the studio. Andrew, Brad, Sean, how are you guys?
Fantastic.
So, Andrew, this week you get to learn to drive.
I'm nervous. I don't even want to talk about it.
You don't?
Well, no, of course I want to talk about it. That's what we're here to do. I'm just nervous.
You felt a little bit like you were going to back out a couple times.
Yeah, I did kind of. I'm nervous about it. I'm nerve-wracking. My nerves.
What's the scariest part of getting behind the wheel of a car for the first time in your 32-year-old life?
I just don't know what to do. Do you use both feet?
Just some heel-to-toe action.
That was beautiful. If you could have seen the studio right now, every single head in the studio went down and looked at the floor like, Andrew.
I don't understand why you're limited to the one. You got 2 feet. Why can't you just...
Because you can't press 2 pedals at once.
Says you.
I got to go to Reno, and I got to drive the new Chevy Tahoe, and I have to tell you, I was pretty impressed from it. And so I invited one of our friends on the show, Shad, who is the Western Region Communication Manager for Chevrolet. Hello, sir. Good Sunday morning to you.
Good Sunday morning to you as well.
Are you proud of this new Tahoe?
Well, it's fantastic. I'm very proud. You had a chance to spend some quality time with it up in some beautiful country, so you probably have a better feel for why we should be so proud of it.
Yeah,
it's a great car.
A really great job on the redesign. New front end, a lot of neat daytime running lights, and a lot of technology, I guess. What's been updated on the car?
Well, everything's been updated on the car. In fact, there's this current generation, there's not one piece of metal that's shared with the trucks, whereas in the last generation there was a lot of shared materials. So it's completely, from head to toe, completely redesigned. Under the hood, exterior, you name it. And, I mean, we could list out a whole bunch of different advancements in technology that make this car just far superior than what it replaces.
Now, it's kind of a weird niche because there are very few vehicles that fulfill the needs that the Tahoe fulfills, right? It's this giant transportation wagon.
It is. I mean, it's a very purpose-built vehicle for active families who, large families who have a lot to do and have a lot of stuff to haul around. It is ideal for, getting a big family to where they need to be.
I'm so impressed that even with all the seats occupied, there's still so much trunk room in this vehicle.
It's size. I mean, the Suburban is it's larger, so it can tow a bit more, it can haul more people, but mostly it's about the storage capacity in the back. You can really fill it up with people and gear, toys, etc.
So the Suburban gives you that extra trunk space and the extra passenger space, right?
That's correct.
Now, what's happened as far as the technology on this vehicle? Because we went from like 1999 and suddenly let forward to 2020. You guys have completely revolutionized the electronics in this vehicle.
Yeah, I mean, the industry has just gone leaps and bounds in terms of the technology that they're putting in the cars. And the Tahoe and the Suburban, they sort of get to enjoy the benefits of everything, whether it be safety, security, connectivity, keeping the driver connected. All of these things have major advancements in technology, and these trucks incorporate all of them. I mean, pick a topic and we can start going down the list.
Right, and I love the whole electronics infotainment system in there with the icons and everything. What's new there?
Well, you have an option of getting an 8-inch center screen that basically allows you to customize your truck, your vehicle, and at the same time bringing added convenience of being able to access your smartphone, say, through the car. It also increases the safety aspect of it because the car is designed to let you have all the access that you would need from your personal device without taking out of your pocket. So you can access your phone, you can access the applications that are on your phone, you can get your address book, so there's a lot of integration to help prevent driver distraction and also enhance convenience.
Right, and so when you look at this, you can also put different apps to do different things. So if you need something specific in your vehicle, you probably have an app to do that, right?
Yeah, the Chevrolet has a whole new app store that is coming online that basically allows several different apps to be accessible in your car, just for the reasons you said. So if you want to have like Pandora available in your car, since you have it on your device, you just connect it to the car, and boom, there it is up on the screen.
And you actually started doing this with one of the smaller Chevy vehicles, which was the Spark. It was the first one I ever saw where you could integrate your navigation from your phone right into the screen.
Yeah, exactly. We tried it out with some of the small cars. It was obviously a hit, and now it's expanded into the full lineup to be available. It's through the Chevy MyLink system.
Now, Chevy's actually seeing somewhat of a rejuvenation. Sales and, I guess, popularity of the brand going through the roof, right?
I mean, I tell you, this is probably one of the best times to work in the automotive industry, as you know, and I think there's no better example of that than looking at the Chevrolet brand. I mean, we sell a new Chevrolet about, every 6 minutes, I think, around the globe.
Wow.
So it's pretty impressive in terms of sales, and it's because the cars we're providing our customers what people want, right? The ability to be connected, the fuel economy improvements, the practicality of being able to haul people and stuff, and, the least of not which is the quality and dependability story. I mean, our cars are at the top of the most major lists now in terms of being very well-built, high-quality vehicles.
The last thing I want to ask you about, Shad, which I actually think is probably one of the coolest things, you guys just didn't think about everything else that every other manufacturer is doing. You guys also, by the way, test your vehicles a lot longer than any other manufacturer. You million miles. I know when you had the new Silverado, you had them for 1 million miles on the road to make sure that they were ready to go. But you also do some really amazing stuff to make sure that the cars can't be, broken into. You have some security features on this that I haven't ever seen on another vehicle.
We do. We have that's one of the issues. I mean, if you look at the list of vehicles that is on the target list for vehicles to get stolen, the big SUVs are oftentimes at the top of that list. But there's a new technology that we have that actually uses sensors on the interior of the car, so that if somebody tries to shatter a window or somebody's moving around in there, the car senses it and actually shuts down some key applications so that the car can't be driven, some key accessories, etc. Or if you try to jack it up and steal the wheels, same thing happens. Alarm goes off, the car shuts itself down, and it gets secure. And then, of course, worst case, if somebody does get the vehicle and they are driving it away, we can use OnStar to slow it down safely.
You can also locate it, find the vehicle if it's been stolen. OnStar can help you do that. They're also coming up with a Wi-Fi hotspot system, right, this summer sometime.
Yeah, it's the Chevy MyLink system is going to be launching. It's going to be later this summer. It does exactly like you said. It creates a Wi-Fi hotspot in your car. You can connect up to about almost a dozen devices, and then you have full internet access and capability from your device while you're in your car.
I don't
and
know.
Of course, it's
I don't
only
know
for
why
the passengers. It's not accessible
why
for the
wouldn't
driver.
you live in it? Why wouldn't you live in this, Shad? Why don't we just?
Could.
Yeah,
I think that's where we're going, right?
Can we just move in? I'll move into my Suburban and I'll be done. There's enough room for 5 dogs in one, isn't there?
They're going to make it a little bigger, call it the subdivision.
I love it. The Chevy Subdivision. Chad, awesome vehicle. Thanks so much for inviting me. I had a great time test driving through the mountains of California into Nevada. We actually had a really fun drive. The vehicle, responsive, roomy, and upgraded a lot. When are these in dealerships?
They land right now. So up in the Pacific Northwest and out here in California, we're starting to see them arrive on trucks now. So be on the lookout.
Excellent, Shad. Thanks so much for being on the show. And if you're interested in a new Chevy of any sort, shape, or size, we can help you, or just email us or go to our Facebook at TestMiles or TestMiles.com. We've also got good recommendations for you as far as what different Suburbans might be good for your household. Enjoying the drive, Shad. You have a great Sunday. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, guys. You too.
This is Test Miles with automotive expert Nick Miles. Vehicular entertainment. Test Miles with Nick Miles.
Welcome back to Test Miles. I'm Nick Miles on FM News 101, and we are talking car stuff with Brad, Andrew, and Sean. Andrew, it's minutes away from you learning to drive.
I don't know what to do to be prepared. Do I need to stretch?
Yes. You probably need to stretch your toes and your heel to toe. So put your heel on the ground and push down like you're pushing a gas pedal.
Oh yeah, that hurts. That works the that works the gluteus too much, miss.
Your gluteus maximus.
Mm-hmm.
And also, when we put you in a car, we're not going to put a helmet on you.
I thought I was getting the full fire retardant regalia.
No, you're going to drive like every other person does.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
We are driving around the parking lot at PIR. So, and then we're gonna, if you get good enough, we'll maybe put you on the track.
I kind of just want to go right to the track and see how fast I can get it, but.
Does sound very nervous to me. You sound like you're ready to enter the Indy 500.
No, I just don't want to endanger the lives of the other inhabitants of the car.
What, the squirrels? Oh, the inhabitants of the cars?
Yeah.
That's we're all wearing fire retardant gear.
Yeah,
you guys sitting in the back.
You guys should really be safety geared up.
I actually cannot wait. I think it's going to be the culmination of how many shows we had now? 9, 10 shows on the air. This will be the pinnacle of everything.
Yeah, this is when everyone's going to stop listening.
The audience is primed. All right, we've been driving lots of test cars this week. Sean, you've been in the Mazda 3.
I am, and it's a great vehicle. It's up for tons and tons of awards. I don't even have time to list all the awards that it's been up to, but the two major ones are Green Car of the Year and Car of the Year.
So North American Car of the Year.
North American Car of the Year, excuse me.
And it was nominated, but unfortunately it lost out to the Stingray.
Stingray, which is a fantastic car, but in all honesty, I think this car should have won because it's a people's car. Not everyone can go out and afford a Stingray, but this car is more affordable. It actually has some beautiful styling on it. It has this pop-up display, heads-up display, which is great.
Now, the heads-up display isn't like a lot of companies, they put it on the windshield, but Mazda haven't done that, right?
No, they have this little plastic screen that comes out of the dash and projects a heads-up display on the screen, which it takes down from the glare of the road, and also your polarized lenses aren't going to take out the view of the heads-up display on it.
That's always weird when you're wearing polarized lenses in a car and it has heads-up display. It just like disappears.
Well, yeah, because if you're not ready for it, it's just like, where'd it go? What's wrong? And
now, for those people that don't know what a heads-up display is, it's like a jet fighter. It is projected onto the windshield, and in Mazda's case, and in a couple of other manufacturers' case, it's actually projected up onto a plastic screen which goes between you and the windshield, and you can look directly through it, and it's information about your drive. So usually your navigation, your speed. It can also project other things, like the new ones will have incoming phone calls, who's calling, that sort of thing. Tell me, what are the things about the car that you were surprised at?
The performance on the car, because it does get great fuel economy. It says that you're average around 40 or 32 and 40 on MPG. Yeah. But I'm getting around 33, and so for most fuel economy cars, you don't get great performance, and this car actually has some great performance to it.
There's actually a reason they're called the Zoom car company.
Well, they try to mimic everything off the Miata.
And they've done a good job. I've driven the car. I've been very impressed with it. Brad, you're in the Honda Pilot?
I'm in the Honda Pilot, which surprisingly debuted about 11 years ago. 2003 they came out. They kind of changed the market from the traditional body-on-frame SUV with the four-wheel drive, and they made it a unibody onto an all-wheel drive platform. So it softened up the ride a little bit, made it a more family vehicle, something multiple passenger cruiser kind of thing. I think it was to get away from the minivan. It gave some options to people, but the Honda is typically slow to make a lot of changes, so they've only made one complete redesign, and that was in 2009. So all the things that made the Pilot a really fun, decent car to ride, a lot of space inside. Its styling is a bit dated now, and I understand they're coming out with a new version.
I'm hearing that I'm going to see it in New York in April.
Outstanding. It's needed. There's There's a couple of things. It competes very competitively. It ranges. There's 4 different trim levels. The buttons are a little clunky in there. I mean, again, it comes from having not been redesigned since 2009.
But it's a Honda, and it has that Ace body structure, right?
Yes, and it's got the Honda badge on the front, which gives a lot of credibility and reliability to people. But there's a couple safety features. One particularly for a vehicle this size, it's a little wider than most, maybe the Kia or the Chevy, but it doesn't have the backup cameras that some of them do on the sides, and it doesn't have the accident avoidance features that
I'm
a lot of
guessing
these
the new
have.
one's going to have all those
Yes,
features.
I think it will.
All right.
But overall, I think if you like that particular more truck-like look with a car-like ride, the Pilot's a decent option in there.
And it probably uses a considerable amount of gas.
It actually does not. I mean, 17 and 24, which is a combined for 20. It's competitive in its category.
Right. And what about the automatic trunk opening? Is that on this one, or are we going to have to wait for the new one?
On the Touring, that is on this one, so it's not too bad. The funniest feature, though, is they handed me the keys, and I noticed it actually had a key. There's not a push-button ignition system on this.
Yeah,
I felt a little spoiled.
That's definitely going to change. Although you can still unlock the car with a key.
Correct.
Right. So it's not like you have to put it in the lock and turn it.
No, it's not 1984.
Right. Central locking. So those nice cars. Now we're getting ready. We're going to talk to John Schilling from Audi in just in a few minutes' time. But Ole, you're here. You brought the car. What's Andy going to learn to drive in this week?
I came across it. Just actually got it this week. We have 2012 Volvo C30. So safety won't be an issue for everybody.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to roll it.
C30, man.
I mean, I'm hoping we don't have to put, the plan is not have to put the safety to the test, obviously, but
Yeah.
I did bring my helmet. We got a
Good.
safe car, so I think everyone's going to be fine in the
I have a
end.
life jacket.
The C30 is one of my. You have a life jacket?
Yeah.
There is. I guess there's a marshland out there.
Oh, you don't know. You don't know.
You're actually frightened.
You should take him on the rally course, actually. That'd be
Oh, Andy.
Yeah.
fun. Through the
See-
trees.
Can he buy this C30 if he wants it?
Oh, yeah, it's for sale.
You'll sell it.
Yeah,
too.
I'll
it's
probably
for
have
sale.
to buy it after today.
I can't stop thinking about if there's any bodies of water next to where we're driving.
There
since
is.
You brought the
There
life
is.
jacket.
Yeah.
I'll find it.
There is down at PIR. There's the marshland.
There is a term when you take a car out to the racetrack. If you bend it, you buy it.
Well,
yeah.
That's a good thing I brought my debit card.
And we're also by Heron Lake, so there's all those, waterland.
That's true. That's true. Next
He
to
could
the-
end up
the
in a
golf
sand
course.
trap.
You're gonna be fine, right?
I'll take sand over water.
I think so.
Take sand over water.
I'm gonna insist that you wear a bike guard though.
Yeah, and a jock strap.
I was going full cup, but yeah, that'd probably do.
Oh, I'm now extremely fearful. Before we get to test drive the brand new or the Audi, what am I saying? Before we get to test drive the Volvo C30 with Andrew at the wheel in a manual, we're actually going to talk to John Schilling from Audi. That's coming up on Test Miles or on FM News 101. Andy's actually sweating here.
I am. He's
He's
nervous.
mopping his brow. You can learn to drive, buddy. Today's the day.
Oh, great. Today's a good day to grow up.
The audience has been listening. We'll have that and more when we come back.
This is Test Miles with automotive expert Nick Miles. Vehicular Entertainment. Test Miles with Nick Miles.
Welcome to Test Miles. I'm Nick Miles. Knee deep in the show this week and talking about cars. We've gone around the gamut of what you guys are driving, but we have a guest on the phone we're going to be talking to. I saw this vehicle unveiled at the LA Auto Show, and I have never seen a vehicle unveiled that has so many different versions of the car. See if I can get them right. We have a hybrid, a wagon, a diesel, a sports, a cabriolet, and a sedan. And joining us on the phone is John Schilling from Audi. John, we're talking about the new A3. How are you, my friend?
Great, Nick. Thanks for having me on the show.
No
Glad to
problem.
be here.
Yeah, it's always good to talk Audi stuff. One of the premier brands that's really up and coming. Audi's always been a choice for many, but it's being a choice for many more. A lot of new technology coming out of Audi, and that's demonstrated in this new A3. Tell me a little bit about the car.
Well, yeah, this car will be on sale next month, and it is it's the first time we've ever offered the A3 in a sedan variant in the United States. We had the Sportback in the previous generation.
But to your point, we're not just launching a one car, one variant. We have multiple variants coming. So the sedan will go on sale first this spring, and this fall it'll be followed by a diesel, a TDI version of the A3, the S3, a cabriolet version, and then next spring, about a year from now, we'll have the plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, the A3 e-tron. So just not entering the segment with just one vehicle. We're getting into the segment with a number of vehicles. And the reason we're doing that is this segment is we're projecting it to grow quite a bit in the next few years. We've seen some studies that by 2018, this segment's going to grow by 400%. So it's a great time to be entering this segment. And again, we're not just doing it with one car; we're doing it with multiple variants.
Now, this is what do we call this segment? It's sort of the compact luxury segment. Is that right?
Yeah, it's the premium compact segment basically, and there's not a whole lot of players in it right now.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the players because it's important to know what the competition is. So it's the Acura ILX, the Buick Verano, BMW's 2 Series, and the CLA from Mercedes, and now the Audi A3. And really, so 3 of those manufacturers are German manufacturers, 1 American and 1 Japanese. Is it because this size of car in a luxury variant is so popular in Germany that we're seeing this new, or is it what Americans have been asking for?
It's really a little bit of both, but I think for the most part, it's customers are really grasping these types of vehicles. They're at a price point where people who were buying upper $20,000, lower $30,000 cars before weren't playing in the premium segment are now able to purchase a car that is a premium model at that price point. The A3 starts at $29,900 for the 1.8 front-wheel drive, and the all-wheel drive 2.0 starts at $32,900. So really bringing this segment to a point where customers can afford it. And I want to stress that it's a cheaper car cost-wise, but you're still getting all of this great technology and luxury and features that you would get in our bigger Audi products. You get the Ultra frame, you get MMI Touch, which was something you saw in our larger sedans. The Bang & Olufsen sound system, the LEDs, all these driver assistance systems that you saw in our premium, the A8s and the A7s are now funneling down into a car like the A3. So I think that's really attracting a lot more customers into our showrooms.
I think a lot of people talk about where this segment needs to go, but you are approaching it from a multi-angled approach where if you're interested in fuel economy, you have this e-tron version coming. And now e-tron is plug-in hybrid, is that right?
Correct.
And it comes in a wagon as well. Is it only in a wagon, or is it also available in a sedan?
When we launch it, it's basically going to be in the Sportback, so a wagon version. No plans for a sedan right now, but that's not to say we wouldn't bring something like that later on in the life cycle of that vehicle. But when it launches next year, it'll be a Sportback version. Now,
Sportback is it's not quite what we know as a wagon. It's sort of a mixture between a wagon and a hatch. Is that right? More of a sloped back end?
Yeah, it's not a higher profile SUV type vehicle. It's really a lower wagon-esque type vehicle, if you will.
And for those people that want a sporty ride, the S version is basically going to be the sports car version of the A3, right?
Correct. So, like I said earlier, that'll come out this fall, and that's going to have over 290 horsepower when it comes out. We
For a little car.
Announced the final horsepower in that car, but it'll have over 290 horsepower, and it'll have a number of performance upgrades: wheels, tires, suspension, trim, things like that. That'll differentiate it from the normal A3.
Can we say run to the sun?
Yeah, you've got to bring this car to run to the sun for us. That would be awesome.
When is that?
That's September.
What are the dates for that?
September, I think. It's usually the second weekend in September. And for those people that don't know, Run to the Sun is the Northwest Automotive Press Association's basically rally. And it's screaming for the cab and for the S.
TDI, I'm a diesel guy.
Yeah, but...
Well, maybe I can bring all of them.
All right.
Bring all the variants. They should all be out by then.
I'm reserving you your spot right now.
I think it's a contract,
right? Just written on. That's. I can't wait to drive all of them. What's available? What am I going to get to drive this coming week?
So this week here in Silicon Valley, where we're previewing the car, we're going to have two of the sedan versions. The two that go on sale in April, we'll have the 1.8 T, which is a 170 horsepower version, and then we're going to have the 2.0 T, which is a 220 horsepower version of the car.
Nice.
Both of them have standard 6-speed S-tronic transmission. That's a dual clutch transmission. And again, we'll have so the 1.8 is the front-wheel drive, and the 2.0 is a quattro, so that's an all-wheel drive. So those are the versions you'll be able to drive this week.
Okay, excellent. And so the other ones will be available for us to drive sometime in the future?
Yeah, later this fall, probably August. In September, definitely we'll have them available for a run to the sun. So we'll be down.
Now, hopefully, we're going to keep our fingers crossed as you can get us one up here to do that. That would be great. This vehicle, the Quattro, we know much about. It's a well-publicized portion of Audi's technology. But some of the new technology that's available on the inside of this car, like the screen, that's completely new, right? You use the NVIDIA Tegra 2 card, which is only usually seen in video game systems.
Correct. So this car is going to have the MMI operating system. It'll have a 7-inch screen that will basically come up from the dashboard. It's very thin. It looks like a tablet, a tablet that you would work on. But it comes up out of the dashboard, and if you don't want it up, you can push a button and it'll lower back down, flush into the dashboard. But this is going to be the operating system for the vehicle. So this is where you're going to control. You're going to see the navigation. And media, telephone, car systems, all the systems of the car will be available on that screen, all through a rotary MMI control wheel that we have on the center console. But yes, to your point, it will have some great new technology. It's the first time we have the 4G LTE connectivity in a car. It's going to have NVIDIA graphics that are going to generate complex three-dimensional images that you'd see online on your computer. Now it's going to be able to access it on your car. So a lot of great technologies, like I said earlier, that are funneling down from our bigger cars. It's going to have first time it's going to have a 705 watt, 14 speaker Bang & Olufsen sound system, which is just extraordinary in this segment to have this.
Did you say 705 watts?
705 watts with 14 speakers.
Whoa, that for a
sounds
small.
awesome.
Wow.
I've listened to it, and we have them here at our event, and you'll be able to experience it as well.
I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it. John, thanks so much for joining this morning. I'm going to report back once I've driven the car. We'll definitely talk about it much more on the show. Excited, and plus we had the Tonkins in last week who talking about the vehicle. They want me to get down there, so I'm going to come and drive some of their versions down there. We're going to immerse ourselves in the new A3. Is there new stuff coming up? Are we expecting to see some press conferences at New York Auto Show? We're going to have some cool stuff.
Yeah, we'll have some stuff in New York. Can't get into it right now, but
we'll
definitely
come on.
have some stuff in New York. And if you haven't seen, we just announced and showed people the new TP, the next generation of TP that will go on sale here in the United States next year. We're really looking forward to it.
You announced that at Geneva, right?
We have that at Geneva, correct.
Excellent. Well, Andy and I will both be in New York. We'll come by, we'll spend some time with you, and we'll talk about the new product, my friend.
Sounds great.
All right, John, thanks so much, and I'm looking forward to spending the week with you down there in Silicon Valley and test driving some new Audi A3s.
Thanks for having me. We look forward to seeing you down here.
This is Test Miles with automotive expert Nick Miles. Vehicular Entertainment. Test Miles with Nick Miles.
Well, welcome back to Test Miles. I'm Nick Miles, and we've finally done it. We've talked about this for weeks, and it's finally here. We have Andrew in a Volvo C30, which Oli has provided. And first of all, before we explain the mechanics and the intricacies of driving a car, how do you feel?
I'm nervous right now, and I think I have to buy the car because I soiled it. It was hard to just get in the car, not because I'm big, because I've never gotten in on the right.
So you were confused.
Yeah, I've only gotten in on the left.
You actually you seem to be kind of comfortable. Oli, you want to explain to Andrew the pedals, right?
Yeah, so what we're doing is just giving a quick little debriefing on how a car works for starters, and how the clutch works, and just the general idea of what's going to go on here.
There's a lot going on with your feet. There's a lot to do.
You know how happy I am right now?
I didn't know that there was quite the to-do down here.
You've never looked?
Well, it looks like you guys are doing something with your feet, but it looks like you're just stretching them.
This is so beautiful. I'm sitting behind Andrew, who's in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
Now, Oli needs to know about that.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on that.
All right.
If things get crazy, I'm gonna turn the car off and pull it.
Okay, sounds like most of my Friday nights.
Oh, Andrew, you started a car.
I did it. Do I still have to hold the clutch down?
I think I noticed that the blinker was on, but I think we should just leave it on the whole time.
What is that?
Oh, we don't need that.
Don't do that.
We don't need wipers.
Windshield wipers.
I'm not turning anywhere, car.
No, we're not turning it.
Okay. So the clutch is still depressed. Now
Yes.
what?
All right. So go ahead and hit the gas a little bit.
Oh, that's nervous.
See how that works?
Yeah. And
So
then what?
rev it up. So now you know what that is. Let's go ahead and hit the brake.
Oh, that's scary.
Easy now.
Okay, now the brake. I'm
hit
pressing
the brake.
it. I'm pressing it.
That's it. So that's the
We're
one.
braked.
Let's keep track of that one. All right.
Okay.
So should we give this a go?
Yeah, but I don't know what. Now I don't know what to do. Now I'm sweating.
Okay.
I feel like I should have the window wipers on.
Just put the blinker back on. Let's just leave the hazards on.
Okay, that's good. That's a really good
All right.
idea. Actually.
So
okay, the clutch is depressed.
leave it depressed. Okay.
It's in first.
Here we go.
If you pull out the clutch and if you have it in gear and you let that pressure cut, then it's going to move forward.
Oh my God,
driving.
we're going.
We're
We're driving. Oh crap. Oh no. And now what are we doing?
Should we go for second?
What do we do?
Is it
push
too
the
soon?
clutch all the way
Is it
in.
too soon? Push the clutch in. See, once you're
Oh my God, I just did it.
we shifted.
Oh, there's a turn. I wasn't ready for this.
We didn't even talk about steering.
He's played video games.
Yeah. Now just turn the round thing counterclockwise for a left turn.
Now he's just messing with your head.
Where I'm at.
All right, now let's get going a little bit. You're a little accelerating. Now you're gonna shift. So put the clutch in, all the way in. Go to second. Let it out. There you go.
That was smooth. Oh man, there's so much travel.
Whoa, let's get further away from the water on our right.
Yeah, I told you I would find it.
Let's get going a little bit more. There we go. Uh-oh.
I did it. I went to third.
What are we at now? 20 miles an hour.
Yes. This is the fastest I've ever gone in my life.
Okay.
It was a little chuggy, but I did it.
Oh man, there's another car.
Where?
There's another car
Don't
coming.
say that.
Let's
Where?
stop here. Stop here.
How do I do that?
Clutch in. Clutch in.
brake. Clutch in and brake.
Flawless.
Just stay here.
That was so good. Oh man, that was so good.
He's telling you what he's doing. He's not waiting for instructions.
What should I be doing with the clutch? Yep.
Andy, this is not a video game. Slow down.
Oh, see? See? That's what I'm talking about.
Did you stall it?
No, I think I just broke it.
You just put it into gear without putting it in the clutch in. Oli's like, dude, the transmission's in.
The car currently on our website that's for sale is not the one that we're using here for this demonstration.
All right, so Oli, how do you think he's doing?
I think, with the exception of a certain circumstance of trying to put it in gear with the clutch in, or clutch out, I should say, I think we're doing fine. How do you think you're doing, Andy?
I think I'm ready for NASCAR. Because they don't do a lot. They just turn.
Well, let's just practice. Should we do some NASCAR practice?
Yeah.
All right, left.
Can we get out first, please? Well, Andy, we're coming to the end of your first driving lesson. How do you feel?
I feel 1,047% more confident, but I'm still riding the clutch like it's going out of style. So I'll have to learn a little bit more, but I think overall I'll give myself a solid B today.
Yeah, let Oli be the judge. What marks does he get, Oli?
I think that's a pretty accurate grade. You know, a B. We only had one mishap. I mean, sometimes killing the car and it's the normal stuff I guess you'd expect. But I mean, No reason to be nervous. He seems like he's on track.
Unfortunately, we're out of time for the show. Thanks for listening to Test Miles this week. Thanks to our guest, Shad from General Motors and Chevrolet, talking to us about the new Suburban and the new Tahoe. Thank you to John Schilling from Audi and talking to us about the new A3. To Brad, Sean, Andrew, Oli, and myself. Please go to our website, testmiles.com, and you can find out more about our show there. Listen to encore performances of the show and see some of the TV news segments that I do for NBC Sports and for Fox Morning News. From me, Nick Miles, and the rest of the crew, happy driving.
This is Test Miles with automotive expert Nick Miles.